the distinguishing patch of the 73rd Battalion, Royal Highlanders of Canada, CEF. The 73rd Battalion, Royal Highlanders of Canada, CEF was an infantry battalion of the Canadian Expeditionary Force during the Great War. The 73rd Battalion was mobilized in Montreal, with recruiting beginning on September 3, 1915, in Montreal and in parts of eastern Ontario and Quebec. After initial training in Valcartier and wintering in Montreal, it was deemed ready for overseas in spring 1916. The battalion embarked at Halifax, NS on March 31, 1916, aboard RMS Adriatic, disembarking in Liverpool on April 9, 1916, with a strength of 36 officers and 1,033 other ranks. Facing initially an uncertain future, on May 5, 1916, it was advised of assignment to 12th Canadian Infantry Brigade. After extended training in England, and losing a replacement draft of 250 men to the 13th BN, the battalion arrived at Le Havre, France on August 13, 1916, on HMTS Copenhagen, becoming part of the new 4th Canadian Division. Then moving, in October, for training prior to operations during the Third Battle of the Somme in the Battle of Ancre Heights, and at the Battle of Ancre, into November 1916, it conducted 4 tours, at Regina Trench and into Desire, Sugar, and Switch Trenches. In December 1916, it was to move to the Arras sector, finding itself at Vimy, first as 4th Division Reserve before engagements in January/February 1917, with tours in and out on 4 or 5 day rotations. After time, also as 12th BDE Reserve, it participated in the March raid on the 1st and followed up with 2 tours in the Dzo Valley. 4. The 1st Quebec Regiment, then having to sustain 8 infantry CEF battalions, was running out of volunteers, and the 73rd became the subject of discussion as a source of replacements, for 2 earlier recruited Montreal Highland Service units, the 13th and the 42nd Battalions, RHC. Fully engaged, in the line, below Vimy Ridge, on April 4, it moved to a position on the 1st CA Corps left flank, just west of Givenchy and Goella, entering assigned tunnels and into the Lime Street trenches, on the April 7. Following the mine explosions at Gunner and Kennedy craters, it assaulted onto the lower left slope of Hill 145, on the 9th, achieving its assigned objectives. Moving forward, it fought off a counterattack, on April 11. After supporting 10th Brigade's assault north onto the Pimple, on the 12th and 13th, it was relieved on April 13, 1917, by the 85th Battalion. Being seen as a low priority for Highlander replacements, and having suffered noted casualties, previously in the gas blowback of the March raid, 27 killed, 161 casualties, and the Battle of Vimy Ridge in the assault onto Hill 145, 31 killed, 189 wounded, it was withdrawn from battle and ordered to dissolve on April 16, 1917. Sparling, DSO, the 73rd Battalion was disbanded, on April 19, 1917, broken up for reinforcements, they being absorbed largely by the 13th RHC Battalion and the 42nd RHC Battalion, as well as the affiliated units in the 12th Brigade, and the 85th NSH Battalion. The 73rd Battalion was awarded the following battle honors, perpetuated by the Black Watch, Royal Highland Regiment, of Canada, Somme 1916.